Hi, this is Brian Kim. I'm going to share with you case number 92 in the best way to do cataract surgery series. This is a young patient who had a posterior subcapsular cataract. We talked about his loss of accommodation with the surgery, but he had such terrible glare that he really had to have it done. So you'll see the most difficult part of these cases is not the lens removal because it's so soft. The hardest part is going to be capsulorhexis. These capsules want to run out. There's a lot of elasticity, so you have to pull more towards the center when you do these rhexis, and you'll see what I mean by that. So I'm using a cotton tip to hold and steady the eye, and then use a corneal marker to help me center and size my rhexis. I'm making my paracentesis incision first on the right side and then the left side, making sure I'm parallel to the iris plane, which will allow me to create a nice corneal shelf and achieve a self-sealing incision. I'm injecting some intracameral lidocaine and then now some dispersive viscoelastic to fill the capsular bag, flatten the anterior capsule, coat the corneal endothelium. This is the triplanar corneal incision. I make a vertical groove, place the blade into the deep part of the groove, tunnel through the cornea, and then using the cannula, I'm going to turn it towards me and then enter. I use that wiggle maneuver just to give me a little bit extra control as I push the blade in. Push a little bit more dollop of viscoelastic before it come out. And remember, these patients who are quite young, their capsules behave a little bit differently. And so I go ahead and decide to go with the cystotome first. I cut through, pull to the left, and I create a little flap. You can see I have a beautiful mark from the corneal mark on this patient. So I'm going to be able to use that as a guide as I go around making the rhexis. The biggest thing with the rhexis is it tends to want to go radial. And so you want to pull more towards the center with these young patients. And so that's what you're seeing me do here. I'm pulling more towards the center. I'm not going towards the periphery, because if you go towards the periphery, there's a tendency for it to go out and radialize. Because I pulled towards the center, you saw the flap was a little bit funny, so I had to take my time and just flatten out the flap again. So as I pull, I redirect towards the center, being mindful of following the corneal mark that I made for the rhexis. You can see that mark again so clearly on this patient. Be able to use that as a guide. When it starts to go out, as you saw there, I started pulling straight towards the center, and then I was able to finish it. This is a Capsulorhexis hydrodissection technique. I place a cannula under the rhexis edge into the equator, pointing it down, get a nice wave. In this case, the lens just starts coming right out. Because the lens just came out, I'm not going to really try to push it back in because it's just going to cheese wire when I try to do that. So irrigate the surface of the eye, lift the incision with the chopper, go in with irrigation off to minimize Descemet's trauma. And in this case, because the lens is soft, I just go ahead and start evacuating the lens material. I don't want to go near the posterior capsule, so I just hook the lens with the chopper, pulling it up out of the bag, and then using a little bit of vacuum to remove the lens piece. And I do the same maneuver. You see I'm just going in subincisional space and hooking the lens at the level of the equator. It's a really very efficient and elegant way to pull the lens up without trying to go after it with vacuum. If you go after it with vacuum, you might grab the bag. So I take the chopper out, push BSS in, take the phaco tip out, and then I go in with the INA handpiece. I start subincisionally removing the cortical material, again using foot pedal control to modulate the vacuum. Again, using foot pedal control to sweep underneath the anterior capsule edge. I switch to polish mode, and polishing the posterior capsule surface, as well as under the rhexis edge as well. Once I'm done polishing, I go in with the BSS cannula and I'll pulse at a subincisional space, turning the INA tip away. Looks pretty clean. Inject some cohesive viscoelastic to fill the bag. So use the capsule sweep to polish underneath the rhexis edge, removing any potential lens epithelial cells. Polishing on the left side and then the right side. And inject the single piece acrylic intraocular lens into the capsular bag. Injecting the leading haptic into the bag. As the lens unfolds, I quickly transition to the INA handpiece, go in with irrigation off, activate irrigation, make sure both haptics are definitely off the optic. The trailing haptic was already off. I just pushed it to get it into the bag, tilting it and going underneath the lens, removing all the viscoelastic from within the bag. Polishing underneath the rhexis edge. Polishing underneath the lens as well. I must have seen some fine lens material there. I switch to polish mode and then I'm going to go ahead and turn the haptics horizontally. There's some more fine material on the posterior capsule surface there, and so I go after it in the polish mode. Turning the haptic again horizontally. It doesn't seem to want to go in the horizontal direction. Switch to visco mode, removing the viscoelastic from the anterior chamber, and then I'll hydrate my incision. So again, this is a patient, a young patient with a posterior subcapsular cataract due to steroid exposure, due to a medical condition, and it led to a posterior subcapsular cataract. Patient had quite a bit of glare issues as a result. We had a long discussion about the pros and cons of cataract surgery. We did talk about the loss of accommodation, which would occur. And thankfully, he had a nice outcome. He was happy with his result. The biggest challenge with these young patients is the anterior capsule. When you're doing the capsulorhexis, it does want to tear out. And so the biggest adjustment is to pull towards the center a lot more. And if you have to do the little maneuver, instead of pulling centrally, you're actually pulling backward. And that will really cause the capsule to kind of make a U-turn type of maneuver in those situations. Thankfully, this patient had a really nice capsulorhexis using those maneuvers that I just discussed. Again, you want to pull back in those situations. These young patients are very elastic capsule consistency. So I hope this was helpful to you, and I thank you for your attention.